After 12 years, my wife requested an open marriage. I responded by asking for a divorce. We've been married for 12 years now, and things have always been great, without any particular ups or downs. My wife has always been a kind, sweet woman, and up until this point I thought the world of her. Then she went and broached the talk about open marriage. "What if we consider opening up the marriage?" she asked. "Because all my friends did it, and it's 2024. I didn't get angry or anything like that. I just listened and offered my counters. I asked if her friends were influencing her into this. She said no. I asked if she already had someone in mind. She said no. I asked her to give me some time to think about it, and she agreed, stating, "We don't have to do it if you're not up for it." I shouldn't have, but in the days after, I checked her phone and laptop. Nothing suspicious. Nothing that suggested she was already cheating. Last week, I told her I'd thought about it. I told her, "In my opinion, you can get anyone you want, because I want a divorce." Cue the sobbing. The begging. "If I knew, I wouldn't have ever asked," she said. She refuses to move out. And so do I. So I sleep in the guest room. She's taken sick leave from work, and every time I'm home, she keeps begging to talk. Begging me to go back to the bedroom with her. Honestly, I believe her friends actually did influence her, and that she didn't do anything yet. But this unraveled everything I thought I knew about her. Was I too fast to mention divorce? Ask for an opinion, and the community will give you one. This may or may not be an overreaction, but my own marriage went into separation, divorce still up in the air, after a couple of months of open marriage, albeit on both sides. Looking back, I wish I had the guts to propose divorce at the start. Someone else chimes in. While I understand that requests for open marriages are often the beginning of the end for many relationships, I also think Opie definitely jumped the gun here. His wife was trying to start a conversation, and his reaction was to end it, in the most dramatic way possible. He should talk to her, not necessarily because he wants to save the marriage, but out of respect for the 12 years they spent together. The fact that he has no interest in understanding her perspective or even letting her admit she was influenced and regrets it, it makes it seem like he was already looking for a way out, and this was just a convenient excuse. Another adds, "I mean, you are who you are. If you can't forgive her for even considering the concept of having sex with someone else, if that absolutely destroyed your image of her, and you feel you can never love her again, then you do what you have to do. Sure, from my perspective, your reaction seems a little unfair. If she legit has friends who are doing this stuff and she was curious whether you'd be into it, and she asked you, and was happy to accept no as an answer, what else was she supposed to do? Partners should be able to talk to each other. They should be able to disclose even their most messed up, would never act on this desires in a place of shared trust. I hate to see people knee-jerk reject each other over just discussing sex. That keeps people buttoned up, closeted, repressed, and eventually someone gets hurt. But again, I'm not you. Only you know what you can live with. If you're questioning whether you moved too fast, you can always try marriage counseling. But if you know you can't accept this, then that's how it is. Update. I wasn't jumping the gun. She was cheating emotionally, and planning to do so physically. I had checked her phone and computer and found nothing. But then she came forward, with a second phone. I had no idea she even had a second phone. She thought I already knew, that's why she came out with it. Just as I was starting to regret my decision, she dropped that bomb. Her friend sweet-talked her into it, apparently. Those open marriages, they keep bragging about. They're just affairs, dressed up to look sophisticated. She thought it would help her conscience if I went along with the open marriage. The things I saw on that phone were stomach-churning. She begs to be given a second chance, and a part of me is foolishly considering giving it to her. But it's not the right thing to do. I don't want to leave her. But I have to, for my dignity, pride, and self-respect. That I love her has become irrelevant. We got a couple more reactions. Brother, I'm sorry. Your wife has some crappy friends too, but that is what it is. You may recall my reply to your original post. I'm glad you followed up. I agree with you, you have to bail. If you stay at this point, she'll do whatever she wants. Hell, she already was. Another person says. Man, I'm sorry. This was me to a certain extent. My husband asked for an open marriage. Caught him in an emotional affair. Jay's out if it was physical, until I caught him. We're in the process of getting a divorce. Our hearing date is in May, so all will be behind me soon. Long story short, I know how you're feeling. And it sucks. But it's gotten a lot easier and better for me as of late, if that makes you feel any better. Someone else adds with a gut punch of truth. Discovering a second phone is like finding a cockroach infestation in your marriage. You squish one, and suddenly there's a whole colony you didn't even know about. Looks like her friends weren't just sipping tea, they were brewing a pot of drama. Most importantly, your decision to prioritize your dignity, pride, and self-respect is commendable. It's not easy to walk away from a relationship, especially after investing so much time and emotion into it. But ultimately, staying in a situation that undermines your sense of self-worth would only prolong the pain. And honestly, if she's doing this to you after 12 years, she's no longer the person you married. What do you think? Would you have asked for a divorce right away? Why am I not surprised? Up next, OP shines a light on their journey, embracing the power of vulnerability, and showing others they're not alone. Feeling surprisingly better, despite pretty fresh wounds. Most of the posts on this sub are understandably, and rightfully, tragic stories. Mine is one of them. Though, I've noticed a shift in my mood this last week or so, and I wanted to share, in case anyone else is also in the thick of it and feeling lost. Post history explains some background, but basically, I thought I was in an incredibly secure, safe, loving marriage just 2 months ago. 5 years married. My husband turned on me out of nowhere and said he hasn't been happy for a while, despite never acting like it or confronting me. He spent the next 6 weeks effectively phasing me out and increasing activity with the affair partner. Which I knew about all along. But he thought he was hiding it. It's been almost 3 weeks since he asked for the separation, which prompted me to confront him on the cheating. It's been a little less than 3 weeks since he last lived in the house with me normally. And it's been almost 2 weeks since I've last seen him. I'm in the house. He's in some short-term corporate apartment-type place. I could barely eat for the whole month of November. But a week ago, my appetite genuinely returned. I don't wake up in the middle of the night and start panicking or wallowing about my situation anymore. The constant pit in my stomach? Seems much lighter now. I haven't had a really good cry in a few days either. What changed? I've been leaning on my support system, hard. Putting myself out there. Last week, I spent each night talking to a different friend on the phone, 2 hours each. I went to a fitness class. Made plans with newish friends for the first time. Made a completely new memory. I went to a holiday party with a family member where I knew literally no one, and it ended up being really fun. Lots of kind people. And again, totally separate from my prior life. I'm a homebody. I usually avoid socialization. But now, I'm not just surviving. I'm starting to feel like me again. I'm a texter, not a talker, but moving out of my comfort zone in this way has been super therapeutic. My husband's fancy work holiday party was this weekend, and I was worried I'd have major FOMO leading up to it, and on the actual day. But by the time the day arrived, I was actually relieved. Relieved that I did not have to be trapped at a party with an emotional abuser putting on the nice guy front for his colleagues. I don't want to be at a party with someone who has told me he doesn't love me. I have plenty of people who do love me. Ahead of time, I muted Instagram posts and stories from those I follow who would be at that party. Out of sight, out of mind. I'm in individual counseling 2 times a week for now. I listen to Leave a Cheater, Gain a Life. I think Chump Lady's book is a big reason why I've started to see things in a different light. Now, the feelings of sadness and longing for my husband have turned into pity and disgust. Asterisk cheaters are repulsive. Asterisk cheaters are narcissists. Asterisk cheaters are selfish. They are not spouse material. I just need to see it for what it is, and stop romanticizing the version of him I thought I married. Starting to tell my story to friends and family has helped tremendously. At first, I was worried about judgment, or damaging my husband's reputation in case of reconciliation. But you know what? My personal healing and well-being is far more important than his reputation. Which, by the way, he's damaged. Not me. Don't be afraid to talk about your story. People have been so supportive. I've avoided seeing him. I only respond to the logistical texts he sends from time to time. I never initiate contact. This minimal contact arrangement has made a difference. I know I am far from recovered. This journey is not linear. More tears and meltdowns will come. But a few weeks ago, I literally couldn't see myself coming out of the extreme, debilitating spiral I was in. To all the betrayed people out there struggling, we got this. Edit to add. He asked for a separation, but specifically said he was undecided about divorce. Whatever that means. I don't feel pressured to make any moves right away. Because I need to prioritize my health and well-being first. I have a lawyer in mind if I need one. If there's one thing worse than a bad breakup, it's a bad breakup with a side of betrayal. And it seems right, like winning the lottery of emotional trauma. But hey, silver lining alert. You're starting to see the light at the end of the "my husband's a cheating narcissist" tunnel. Who needs FOMO at fancy work parties when you can have a FOMO-free, drama-free evening with people who actually give a damn about you? It's not your fault he decided to throw your marriage into the garbage disposal of infidelity. So here's to you, OP, for navigating the treacherous waters of separation with grace and resilience. Remember, the road to recovery may be bumpy, but as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you'll come out on the other side stronger and wiser than ever before. You got this. Lastly, a wild night of bubbles and trouble, a possibly cheating girlfriend. A few weeks ago, my girlfriend's friend and her friend's boyfriend invited us to her family's cabin in the North Woods. We were having a great time, drinking, playing games. At one point, we decided to get naked and get in the hot tub. It was fun, but after about 10 minutes, the heat plus tequila started to get to me. I left to go to the bathroom. I got sick and went to lay down for a minute, but I must have passed out. I woke up a couple of hours later when my girlfriend came to bed. She was just wearing a towel, and dropped that before climbing into bed. I cuddled up with her and started rubbing her, but she grabbed my hand and pulled it away. Then she went to the bathroom. I heard the shower turn on, and she came back about 15 minutes later. She started kissing me and said she just wanted to clean up first. She gave me a BJ, but didn't want to have sex. Am I just being paranoid, or did something happen while I was passed out? Update. I did confront her, and took some advice from the comments. I told her I talked to the other guy and he already told me everything, but I wanted to hear it from her. So, she told me everything. Basically, her friend and the boyfriend started fooling around in the hot tub, and eventually my girlfriend ended up joining. They had a threesome. Not too surprised, considering how I left them. I never intended to be away that long, but that doesn't excuse anything. After she told me all the details, I told her we were done and left. She's been texting and apologizing, but too little, too late. I mean, getting naked in a hot tub is one thing. But finding out you missed out on a surprise threesome while you were busy napping? Ouch. She could have woken you up, at least. I guess consent was less exciting than convenience. But in all seriousness, kudos to you for taking the high road and handling the situation with some serious self-respect. It takes immense courage to confront something like this head-on, and even more to walk away from a relationship that's been shattered beyond repair. You deserve so much more than to be treated as an afterthought. Especially by someone you cared about deeply. Her remorse may be genuine, but it doesn't erase the pain she caused, or the trust she shattered. It doesn't magically undo the hurt you endured. And who's to say this was the first time she's taken part in steamy hot tub romps? Thoughts? Would you have walked away too? Or tried to salvage something so obviously wrecked? Thanks for joining us today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Until next time.